going down? We here with another episode of the New Hood Podcast. So we're here with the usual. We got Venom,
What's
and we
happening?
got Shawn. And then you got myself, D Braxton. What's up with y'all?
Cooling, Brody. Cooling. Happy to be back. Happy to be back.
For
Most
sure, for
definitely
sure.
happy to be back, man. Looking
Bet,
forward to
bet,
this all
bet.
week.
Yes, sir. Um, did y'all want to go ahead and start dropping y'all, the stuff that y'all want to promote?
Go ahead, Shawn.
All right. So all I got to promote this week is a restaurant in San Antonio, Texas. If you're ever in the area, go check them out. It's called Urban Smoke 210. Young man from Jackson, Mississippi. Um, Cooking the best soul food, like hidden every time. So make sure you go check them out. And then of course gotta plug in my wife, Saige and Soule, SAIGE and SOULE.com. I got one of her candles burning right now. Smell amazing. So make sure you go check that out. That's all I got for this week.
You got something, Josh?
I have nothing to plug this week.
Okay.
Brother, you
Mhm.
trying to be
All right, bet.
gatekeeping.
So for this week, I mean, I'm still, rocking the Shoes Got My Heart shirt, and then also the this is Tuskegee Airman shirt. The site is blackv4u.com. This is shoesgotmyheart.com. But the main one that I want to promote, so this is a hair care product. Her name is I think it's Janeah Simone. So if you in the Cali area, and I think she also ships. But she has a lot of different hair care products. I don't have hair, but obviously I got a kid who does. So, what I'm saying, good hair oil and shampoo and uh hair cream, curl enhancements, leave-in moisture, and then deep conditioner. So her name is Janeah Simone. So that's JaneahSimone. She is on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. All of them are Janeah Simone. So JaneahSimone_ beauty. And then also her website is JaneahSimone.com. So go ahead, tap in with her. I bought the whole little line of products, and so she gave me like a free hand cream, which that should smell good as hell. But yeah, so
You
yeah, support those locals.
you
But
tested them out yet?
I used I think the curl enhancement on Derek's hair when I was getting him together, and it worked pretty good. Um, I haven't
Check that
used
out.
all of them yet, but I mean they all smell real good. And like I said, they the whole line it wasn't too expensive.
That's what's
Uh,
up.
but yeah, and it's I mean you say it can be used really on any hair, but mainly for what I'm saying that if you got this type of skin color, what I'm saying,
That melanin
work
in there.
the little melanated hair. So you said work best on those type of hair. So I definitely had to tap in. So, but
That's
yeah,
up.
that's what I'm promoting today.
Okay.
But yep. But yeah, we can go ahead and get into the topic. Is it
Let's
one
do it. Let's
specific
do
that
it.
y'all want to get into, or y'all just want me to throw one out there?
I say just throw one out there. I love the randomness.
Okay.
And then I'll just be
Um.
thinking.
Okay. Let's see.
Throw a hard one out
So,
there.
what'd you say?
Throw a hard one out there. Throw something that's gonna make you really think. Put
One
some
to
thought
make you
process
think.
to
Well,
it.
I don't know which one of y'all threw this topic in there, but it was, do you think that melanated women get the support and respect they deserve from us melanated males? So
Hey,
basically, it's black men respecting and supporting black women the way they supposed to. Do y'all think
that
that that's being done?
I put that one out there. My uncle actually had posted that one on when I had said topics for the pod or whatever.
Okay.
And I mean I could start it off on how I felt because I've been thinking about it since he asked me about it, and kind of like where I've been coming from is like, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. But I also think that there's a stigma that comes with it when you have our representatives are people like or women like Sugi Hana or Sexy Red, and I fuck with them. That's not to say that I don't, like their music. I played in the car. Me and my old lady would be in the car. We'll turn some of that on. You know what I'm saying? We'll vibe out to it. But I feel like that is a huge part of it. And then it also comes with like, shoot, for the last year or so, everything's been, oh, it's a hot girl summer. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm being a hot girl or something. Like, I ain't thinking about no man. I'm independent, this, that, and the third, whatever. I don't need nobody for nothing. I just think that there's this huge stigma that comes behind it that a lot of other ethnicities don't uh, associate themselves with. Um, but do I think that we don't, as black men, don't respect them? No, I don't think so. I
You
don't
saying
think
you
so.
don't you saying you don't think that we're disrespecting, or are you thinking that as a
Yeah,
whole we're
I
not?
don't think we're disrespecting them, but I also do think too, like the same way that I was just saying with the women, I think it's the same standard with the men or whatever. You got all these songs coming out or whatever it's fuck these hoes and these hoes ain't shit and I don't give a fuck about a bitch, this, that, and the third or whatever. So I think they both kind of coincide with each other as far as that goes. But I think in day-to-day life, no, I don't think of it as like we don't respect or uplift them or nothing like that. Personally that I've lived, that I've seen or whatever, or how I interact and the people that interact with women around me, especially black women around me, I don't see it like that.
Okay.
But I could be wrong.
Okay. What you think, Josh?
I think yeah. Like as an overall, I think where most people what we tend to focus on when it's a couple of black men that don't respect women, and we try to lump us all in together and say like, oh, you see that we go. It's not, and I think as overall, like I'll say, a majority, I say, yeah, I think we do, especially the ones that I hang around and I like to think that's in my circle, and so. Because I think it's a give and take with everything. I do think there's this generation of women that are super independent, which is amazing and it's great. But it also comes with taking that and having someone to like be your companion or anything is not disrespectful. And I do talking to like some younger troops that I have, young, like they take it as like, oh no, I don't need no man. Especially like I'm independent things. And that can be taken a certain way. And when you meet that energy with another energy, it's like, all right, whatever you did. And
Yeah.
but I think like as far as like respecting women, I say especially the guys that I say I hang around, I'd like to think that's my brothers or my associates. We all want to see, especially melanin women win. So I say yeah, I think so. I think so.
And before you go, DJ, I think that's a big part of it too. It's like the people that we surround ourselves with, we may not see that because we're not gonna lower who we are and how we operate to a lower standard so that we can't resonate with that kind of foolishness. Like that's
That's
not something that's within our mix. That's not something that we just gonna vibe with, go along with, kiki, haha. So I think that's another big reason as to why like it's not prevalent in our day-to-day interactions or whatever the case may be.
that's
Yeah.
what you got, brother.
So I think so it's kind of that question is kind of hard, obviously, because it's kind of hard for us to not be biased in it, because like we three black dudes that are married,
Hell yeah, we
we
good.
have kids, I'm saying we live with our kids and all that stuff, so it's like it's easy for us to say it, and it's like it's not really our reality or whatever, but I think that in itself is part of, like, the reality part is the issue, I think, because I think a lot of people are tying themselves into stuff that's not even their actual life. Like, people will go on social media and they'll see these different videos where a dude smacking a chick, or it was like this one video I seen where a chick she claimed she got hit in the face with a brick
Oh yeah.
Seen that, and
inside
she
of,
said, "Y'all
yeah.
ain't gonna do nothing. Y'all ain't gonna do
Mm-hmm.
nothing." Yeah, I seen
Mm-hmm.
that.
And like that video like took its own like shape, and it created this idea or not even create this idea, it like enforced that like, oh, black men don't take care of black women and this and that. And I think a lot of times most of the times if you see on the internet when people talk about that type of stuff, they're usually talking about something that they saw on TV. It's not always, more often than not, at least from what my experience, it's never like something that they going through. You know what I'm saying? Because like a lot of
Okay.
times when those conversations can be brought up, I'm like, damn, so you know, cause they'll say that and they're like, look, black men don't do this, black men don't care about us, y'all don't protect us. And then I'll be like, damn, you don't got no brother, husband, cousin, father that like look out for you. And they'll like usually the response is my brothers and my cousins, they don't step for me and it's not like, then what are we talking about? Like you talking about something that you saw on the internet, you know what I'm saying? And then like you saw an isolated situation and then you trying to make that the norm. But like that's, you know what I'm saying, what they say, perspective is reality. So like
For
that's
sure.
what's put out there is that we don't, or they show these isolated situations where we don't, but then they don't really cover the situations where it was like, for instance, that one time I saw um it was a guy, no, the woman, she was being harassed by her neighbors because she ended up moving into like a predominantly white neighborhood and it was like super racist or whatever. And like so it got somehow it got like, you know, put on the news and like from that point forward, it was a bunch of black men uh doing doing shifts of like watching her house and stuff like that because people was like vandalizing her crib and everything. So like
Yeah.
dudes started taking shifts to like make sure it didn't happen again. But I'm like, see, that's not gonna get pushed out there. You know what I'm
At
saying?
all.
That's you know what I'm saying. But you
That
gonna show
doesn't
us a
sell.
video,
Positivity doesn't sell.
right? Like, but you're gonna show us the video of the chick getting smacked in the face with a brick. You know what I'm saying? And then what's crazy about that? I don't know how true it is, but it seems as though that situation was fake. Like she
Yeah.
Oh
lied
shit.
and she exaggerated the situation and she ended up getting like 40 bands off of it. And they were saying like
It's
that
not the
was it.
first
Like
time. Yeah, I would say it's
it
not the
wasn't the
first time
first
she done that.
time.
Like if you do the
Yeah.
research, like she had another video that's kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
That was a
Oh, for
couple
real?
years
See, I
prior.
didn't
Yeah.
even know that. See, I don't be taking them videos. I don't take nothing I see online serious, first of all.
Yeah.
First and
That's the
foremost, because
scary
there's
part.
always a backstory to everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I would hate to like take the side on something and then hear the
Mm-hmm.
full story or hear the other story or the other side of the story, rather, on like a news outlet or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and be like, dang, like now I'm feeling sick because I don't waste my time and energy on this or whatever. So
I've
if
done
it's
it so
something
many
that I'm really
times.
vested in, then I'm gonna go and do the research
Yeah.
behind it and like try to figure out, see if I can find some kind of truth to it. But for the most part, I'm just scrolling for the entertainment aspect of it.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing I will say about that video with the girl, that if she did get smacked in the face with a brick, if that was the true story, which I don't know, which I didn't put too much time and energy into it, and I wasn't like really like invested into it like that. Um, the only thing I'll say is like my biggest thing is the first thing that people do is run and pull their phones out.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, you see me getting, you know, I'm walking down the street or something, and somebody hit me in my head with a brick or something. Don't pull your phone out talking about I'm recording. It's okay. I got the.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't need no footage right
But
now,
shit,
sir. I
she
need you
took
to
out
put
her
your foot
phone.
in his head. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I ain't even talking about her in particular. I'm just saying in general, like, because that was kind of one of those instances, like, oh, you just gonna record, you ain't gonna do nothing. You just saw him hit me in the face with a brick, whatever the case may have been, which I don't know. But I'm just saying in general, like I feel like that's one of those things to where like we have to kind of like,
Be careful.
bro.
And but okay, I want to add a layer to that question then. So because a lot of people that she was talking to, I don't think she really knew them like that, right? So
Right.
do y'all think as like black men that you're obligated to step in those situations? You know what I'm saying? Even though
Use
maybe
the,
you don't know this person, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you feel obligated to like intervene in a situation like that?
I
I about to
feel.
say, go ahead, Sean.
Oh my bad.
No.
I don't necessarily feel. I kind of do. I kind of do. I was raised by a single black woman type deal, and she always told me to like, what I'm saying, protect women. Now, do that mean I'm gonna go in there and swing on buddy? No, it's just like, hey, bro, chill, it ain't even worth it. You know what I'm saying? Try to like de-escalate the situation type of deal. Like, rather than anything. But
But so if you saw a chick get hit in the face with a brick though, like what is your reaction to that though? Because like you said, you don't know it's really only a few ways you can react. You gonna either have to like go in because a dude like I was saying with a situation like that is like if a man like if a man is that crazy to hit a woman in the face with a brick, like he ready to crash out, crash out. You know what I'm saying? In my how I see it, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't. That's why like those situations where people be talking about like, yeah, but you also could be potentially putting somebody in putting yourself in an extremely dangerous situation over somebody that you don't know. And I'm not saying you should or shouldn't intervene, but my question is, would you? And if in a situation, especially like that one, what is the proper way to react to that?
I mean, I like to feel like I would try to de-escalate the situation as much as possible. At least give us some time to get up out of there. Personally, that's how I feel. Now, granted, everything is different,
Mm-hmm.
in reality. Like you could be in that mix and you'd be like, nah, I'm gonna go the other way because like, I ain't got nothing to do with that when the situation comes down to it. Cause some stuff, certain scenarios just hit differently from other certain scenarios. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
theoreticals are always hard to kind of like put a a a reality to if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Like it's
Yeah.
always hard to kind of like say
It's
what you
easy to
would
say
do in a
what you
situation.
would. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I have been in a situation to where like I was in the club and this wasn't even that long ago. Like we had did a guys' night out or whatever. And if you went to San Antonio, you heard about Burn House or whatever. And we was in there or whatever. And it was two black girls in there, whatever, it was by themselves. And it was kind of like getting like I ain't gonna say like roughed up on and nothing like that, but it's kind of being harassed or whatever. And I told me and my boy, like, hey, just stand over here, like make sure they good. They just vibing, having a good time. They ain't even on no like, oh, I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to, do no like I said, I'm married. I ain't even on all
Mm-hmm.
that. But it's just like make sure, they vibing, having a good time. Like just keep the rah-rah away type stuff. And that was kind of like how I approached the situation. It didn't go nowhere from there and nothing like that. And there wasn't no smoke or no beef or nothing like that. We ain't getting into no issues in the club or whatever. But it just be little like situations like that to where if you can try to like and the girls later told me like when the club was in or whatever, they later told us like, hey, we appreciate y'all because that was we wasn't feeling that whole situation that was going on
Mm-hmm.
earlier. So I would like to say yeah, but it just kind of depends on the scenario.
Mm, yeah, it would. Yeah, it would be kind of hard for me to not enter. Like to see somebody get smacked in the face with a brick. I would have to. Yeah, I don't see. It'd be hard for me to really see a situation where I wouldn't intervene. Um, but like when I saw that situation with Chick, and then like you get on Twitter and everybody's turning to Inspector Gadget. So like they
Hey,
start posting all her videos where she was just just loud in everybody's face. She smacked the one guy before. She don't she like she seemed to be, I think, LGBTQ, whatever. And she was basically talking about how black men don't deserve this and that. And I was like, my only argument with all those situations is like you creating a perfect scenario for people to not intervene and help you because you have such hatred towards men, but then now you want them to be your protector. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
like, you know what I'm saying? In most cases, it would be hard for me to not intervene, but shit, it's a lot of, you know what I'm saying? That's why people got to be careful of the stuff they saying and all that and all the battles they taking on of shit that don't even apply to them because then when you need our help, now look at you. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily saying you deserve none of that. Cause if that actually happened, yeah, dude definitely need to actually sit down for a while. You know what I'm saying? But it just you just never know, man. So that's why I don't know. I mean, and let's be clear here. I do think that there is a large percentage of, you know what I'm saying, dudes that don't do the right thing when it come to women, you know what I'm saying? In our community, you know what I mean? Like I do think there is I don't like, but that's just from what you see on TV or from what you see on social media and the way people talk in the comments and stuff like that. It's a lot of like self-serving shit that goes on, but I think I mean I feel like the people that I hang with just ain't on that, so it's hard for me to really jump into that. You know what I'm saying? A
Facts.
loser gonna be a loser no matter what color they are. You know what I'm saying?
No,
So I don't know. Well, you got anything you want to add, Josh? My bad.
I'm about to say, only scenario I see me not trying to step in. One, I'll say if I got my kids with me, because one, just putting them in danger is just not on the tip. And because, like you said, if somebody willing to do that, they're gonna crash out. And I was about to
Mhm.
say, I'm definitely, but the key word, do I feel obligated? No, I don't feel obligated to do anything. But just how I was raised, of course, that's just me being genuine, just trying to be nice. And also, I think more of anything, the crazy part, as much as I don't like to admit it, like the medic side comes out where I want to try to make sure that person's good, not far as like try to defend anybody, just because in today's age, like you just don't know. And it's easy for me to go try to defend somebody and then I end up losing my life. And let's say it was even a domestic violence situation, they right back together and they cool living their life. Well, I just lost mine over something that was temporary, but I let emotions get in the way instead of logically thinking. So I try to not approach aggression with aggression, but try to de-escalate the situation, like Shawn was saying, and more just try to be on that tip. But I think yeah, I think seeing something like that in person, like it'll kind of be crazy not to at least have the thought of, hey, I want to do something, and then somebody may start be like, oh, whoa, chill. But I think your first reaction is definitely to run in head first and try to make sure that person's good. But
Yeah.
just the world we live in, man, so many people getting set up. Me and one of my sons, he's on the baseball team, and me and one of the dads was talking, and he said just the day and age, like even trying to see female, he was a black dude, and him and his wife wanted to stop and help somebody on the side of the road, but they just didn't know because here in Maryland, there's been so many people that pulled over and they got set up. And so it's like one of
Mm-hmm.
those, like, you just don't know where it's kind of like, and it makes you question where it's like, damn, I want to help, but
I'm also
hey,
not
I
trying to
think,
die out here. You know what I'm
yes.
saying?
100%.
So it's kind of that
One thing
situation.
you throw $5 out the window, you gonna
Hey, I called them. I
Hey.
called the police and let them know where you at.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but
no, that's
nah,
a fact though. I mean, in the one part that you mentioned about like shit, you would intervene in a situation, a domestic situation, and damn near put your life on the line, and then a lot of people was
right back
willing to go
together.
right
Like,
back to
right.
the. I'm telling you, and that's something I learned early on in my life is not to get too involved in other people's situations and being too emotionally and like charged to somebody situation I don't fully know the ins and outs of because you will really have your that people will have you looking like a fool. I have family members that have
Nah.
tried to charge us up for, you know what I'm saying, dudes that they going through something with and they still with these people to this day. You know what I'm saying? It's like shit, you almost had it like, you know what I'm saying? You almost had people really ready to go.
crash
You
out.
know what I'm
Like,
saying? Yeah. And so that's like a lot. There are a lot of situations that you do got to be careful with because I do have family members that I know now. If they called and said, like, yeah, man, he put his hands on me, I know the person that this person is. And I was like, you probably definitely threw a hot drink on that man. Because I know you know you. I've seen how you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's some people where you be like, hey, you might want to tap on the shoulder, like, hey, bro, because tomorrow they're gonna be right back together and you're gonna go over there and one of y'all and like a lot of people don't realize when it come to men we so like we're aware that like if another man comes trying to check me or I go trying to check another man, that's not going to in most cases not going to end with both of us walking away. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? So like that's the thing that a lot of women don't realize when they do, you know what I'm saying, get emotionally charged and like, try to charge everybody else up is like you upset for the moment and then this might end up ending in somebody's death. You know what I'm saying? So like you
It's
might
that
instead of
situation
calling
that I
them,
had 2 months ago.
and you might instead of calling your cousins or your daddy or your brother, you might just need to call the police.
Yeah.
If that man
yeah,
really need to go to jail, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, facts.
I
Show
think
show
there's
them that
two.
they really need to be gone by calling the police because you call your brother over there and he gonna come ready to
It
kill
might be
somebody.
gone
You know what
forever.
I'm saying?
Yeah, out the gate.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's
So
two parts of that I want to touch on too. The first part being like the craziest part is like the brother might go over there to defend the sister or something, and then he end up crashing out on dude, and then she end up mad at the brother like, why you
mm-hmm.
do that to him? Like, why
Mm-hmm.
you whatever. And I think that's the wildest part to me. It's like you called me over here to come do X, Y, and Z. or come check up on the situation, and you get mad on like how I handled it. Like, no, that ain't how I operate. So I think that's one, the craziest part. But two, I think like, and I think this is gonna be a question that I got for y'all. Is like, I feel like it's a ego thing, not in that particular situation, right? But you said that when two dudes get together, a lot of time that energy comes together, and they feel like they gotta find who's kind of the toughest one, who's the alpha in this situation, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that's a ego thing because I was listening to
Mm-hmm.
something. I was listening to a podcast not that long ago, right? And I think it was Joe Rogan, and he was talking about he had somebody on there, and they were talking about how there's no such thing as an alpha male. That's something that was created, and I was like, that kind of makes sense, like because when you think about it, like anybody could be like the alpha male, so to speak, especially when it comes to human beings or whatever. When you got animals and stuff like that, okay, then it's different or whatever. But when it comes to human beings or whatever, like I don't feel like there's a such thing as an alpha male. I feel like there's a bigger ego, and if your ego wins, then you get to carry on with the torch, so to speak. But
Yeah.
nowadays there's so many other tools that you can use to like win your battle, win your fight or whatever, that I don't
I
think
think
that's it. I
I
think.
think
Go
go
ahead. Go
ahead.
ahead.
No, I was
No,
gonna
I was
say
gonna.
I think my bad, but I
No, you
think
good.
I do agree that like I think technically there is no such thing as an alpha male because like I remember like I saw somebody explaining like why that's a stupid ideology because like in a wolf pack usually like the wolves travel like in actual family pack so the alpha male
Right.
is just the daddy, you know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
in a pack of men there's no alpha because like obviously nobody is the daddy here, so that makes no sense to say that you're an alpha male. But I think in logical terms, like when people say that alpha shit is really based in the idea that like there's people like you said ego, or if you take that out, a friendlier word is some people have stronger personalities than the other, you know what I'm saying? So like sometimes that stronger personality is usually the one that like, you know what I'm
Navigates the
saying,
situation.
navigates the situation, the conversation, stuff like that. So I mean I think realistically, like if we having a conversation, yeah, alpha male is just the person with a type personality, you know what I'm saying? Strong personality, not necessarily like you're the leader of the pack. Like that, I think that's stupid anyway, because there are some people in a group that's fairly quiet, but like everybody kind of leans towards at times. So like he's not like quote unquote an alpha personality. You know what I'm saying? It just really depends. But yeah.
No, that's
Facts.
facts. That's facts. I was about to say, I remember a situation, and this shows you how old Braxton is. Like, oh my
Oh, shit, here we
goodness.
go. About to
Uh,
lie on my name.
see, I'm actually not. It's actually a good story. So I remember it was like 2013. I ended up like going home on like leaves type shit. And my mom and dad was into it. And to the point my dad was talking records. I was ready to crash out. And I called Bryce like, bro, tripping. He's like, bro, your parents been together 25 years. Like, brother, they gonna be fine. I'm like, no, I'm not trying to hear that. They thought they gonna get divorced, all this. Brother, by the time I got on the plane and made it home, they was like, yeah, we good, we're fine. I was like, ain't this about a
I
bitch?
tried to tell you.
I was like,
Yeah.
this. That's why I was like, you know what? Keep my stuff to myself, man. Keep
Mhm.
my stuff to
But that
myself.
be facts though. Like one thing, one like I say piece of wisdom that my mama gave me was like always keep people, a family, out your relationship. Because she said that you'll be and forgave that person, but
Oh
your
yeah, we
family
not
never will.
not at all.
Mhm.
And I was like, dang, that hit different. Like that
I
hit
remember
different.
all that.
That
Yep.
hit different.
Family
Like
reunion, awkward as hell. No, I ain't passing no potato salad. Oh, you know
Yep.
what you brought, bro.
Shit, I have a family member right now. He, be going through stuff with his person, and he tell everybody. And like he told me one time, and I just instantly like, bro, don't even tell me that type of stuff. And he was like, why? It's like, bro, because y'all gonna be back together, and then you gonna be bringing, what I'm saying, her around people, and now everybody gonna be looking at her sideways. I was like, don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I mean, you could tell me, but like, be careful of who you telling. You know what I'm saying? You also got to know who you telling. You go and tell your messy cousin about, you know what I'm saying, the situation with your girl going through. Not only is you
Everybody know.
messing up her, you know what I'm saying, relationship with that person, but now you messing up with everybody because she gonna come tell her messy side of the story. You know what I'm saying? So,
Facts.
which ain't even her story. So
And
yeah.
And I think one thing too is like something that I had to learn, right, within my marriage, right, was that when I used to get into it with my old lady, I would go and I would talk to my brother. Like I would talk to Nixon, and then I would talk to my brother Vontae. And I had to learn that, like, and I even told Nixon this. I was like, I had to learn that I can't go and talk to y'all in the heat of the moment because I end up not talking to my wife.
Mm.
And by me not going and talking and having that conversation with her about whatever it was that irritated me, it further intensified whatever we had going on. So now we may say hey and whatever small talk conversations that we got going on, but we're not getting to the root of whatever it is that's building up under. And so the whole time the roots are just growing bigger and bigger because every time she say something wrong, I ain't said nothing to her. I'm telling my brothers. And so
I got a question for that, but go ahead, finish.
I had to like learn to like eliminate that and speak with her because I learned a lot of times when I be speaking with my brothers, like I could have a simple conversation with her because she would do the same thing, whatever. But I learned that like by having a simple conversation with her, like, "Ooh, I ain't like how you did this, that, and the third, whatever." She'd be like, "Oh, okay, well, I ain't mean it like this. I was just trying to say ah." And he'd be like, "Oh, okay." Did it. The whole issue did it. But by me going to talk to my brothers and not bringing it up to my wife, it was like I said, those roots grew and they further implanted anger, resentment, all these other different negative emotions and stuff like that. So I had to like learn to negate that issue.
All right, well, question for y'all then on that one. Do y'all think that brotherhood at times causes issues in your marriage? Do you think that like
I
being
think it
being
can.
having okay?
Just for
How
the
so?
simple fact, like Shawn was saying, because I built a relationship where I feel like it's easier to talk to you guys because it would be no judgment. I don't have to worry about living with y'all. All I worry about all the other things that follow along with marriage. So it becomes a crush to a sense where it's like, damn, if it's easier to talk to my brothers than my wife, then that's a problem. Because although I can still come to y'all and y'all know y'all can give me advice, but I
Mm-hmm.
should still be able to talk to my wife as easy. And so if I'm not doing that, then like Shawn was saying, like it's easier for me to come charged up, tell the whole story when it could have been a simple conversation that I could have had with my wife of saying, like, yo, I really didn't like this. And it's not saying it's always gonna work out. So the shit didn't always work out. I've tried the situation where it's like, nope, I'm still bad. So, so what I'm saying, at times I think it could, especially if you don't. The problem I say it could if you don't have the right people in your corner. Because I've had people that wasn't right for me and was telling about it was like, what? Nah, let's go out, let's do this. And it was the horriblest decision ever.
Right.
Because you in the club just sad. Just
I
I do
don't
not
know.
want to be here. I do not. So that's the only time I say, like, if you have like true brothers in your corner, then no, I don't think so. But when you have people that's in your corner, that's one, not relationships, that's not going through what you're going through, can't relate, and just giving the single advice, well, it's like, it could be me. Hey, all you need is Hennessy, let's go out.
Mm-hmm.
All these girls, and I hate the term. It's so many fish in the sea. It's like, well, nigga,
I'm
how
tired of
long
fishing.
you been fishing for a while? It ain't
Right.
working. So so
Yeah.
that's my take on it.
Nah, I definitely 1000% agree with bro because like it's been so many conversations me and bro that had that like I call him and be like, bro, you won't believe she just said whatever. And he like, well, bro, you been drinking and you sound kind of crazy right now. Like, and I'd be like, Nixon, like whose side you on? Like, is we brothers or is like y'all brothers? It's just like I don't understand. Like, you supposed to be here for me. I'd be like,
Yeah.
brother, I'm gonna call you back. Like, I don't want to hear that right now. You talking the good talk. I gotta get up phone with you. I need somebody that's gonna, kind of feed into it. And that was the
Mhm.
younger mentality that I had or whatever. But I did have to like learn and appreciate what he was saying because I think it was truth. Like it was truth. And at the time, like, you know what they say, truth hurts. Like you don't be wanting to hear
Mhm.
that. Like, especially in a time when you feeling a certain type of way or whatever, you don't want to be, I ain't trying to hear that right now. Like I'm trying to hear some like hoorah, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely 1000% agree with. I think it's okay if you speaking with people that are like not yes men and people that have
Facts.
your best interest as well as have your relationship's best interest
Yeah,
in
yeah.
mind. Because there's people that have your best interest in mind, or they think that they have your best interest in mind, not realizing that your best interest is like you being with your significant other. But I will say that sometimes if it's not a good match, it's
It ain't
not a
meant
good
to.
match. Like
It ain't
if
meant to
they know
be.
that your significant other is not good for you and you calling them every 30 seconds, like trying to say something like, brother, like, at some point there has to be, that rough conversation. But I think that if you got a good team of like real brothers behind you, or even sisters, like real sisters and brothers behind you, whatever, like they gonna let you know, like, bro, like this isn't a good fit for you. I don't think it's healthy for you. And they still gonna support you, but they gonna let you know how they really feel. So I think that's just the biggest piece of it, really, personally.
Okay. Yeah. I
What
think
about you?
I think that I don't think that it's the brotherhood though. I think it's the well, if they doing what y'all was saying, like, hey, let's go get on some hoes, and you know what I'm saying? Oh, doing like can't be me. Um, like, yeah, that's one thing. But realistically speaking, I think a lot of it is like go back to that ego. Like you want somebody to like kind of stroke your ego. So like if you if you already looking for that type of advice, it don't matter who gave it to you, whether it's your brother, whether you was watching some male dominated podcast. Sorry. Like it don't really matter who gave the advice. It's really like what you looking for. You know what I mean? So one thing that I eventually learned shit as the brother in the situation is like I don't really give a whole lot of advice at all when it comes to like the marriage side of it. I'll like listen and I'll if it just don't sound right, I'll say something. Hold on.
You drinking tequila,
My
y'all.
bad. Nah. Eating chip, eating chip went down the wrong way. But like I don't give a whole lot of like, oh, you should do this, you should do that. I just
Facts.
offer perspective. You know what I'm saying? And that was another thing I learned. Like just like I learned to like not involve myself in like my people's stuff. Like I really learned to not give too much advice either because like you only know your homeboy and you only know what he tell you. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So like a lot of times if you just tell me I'm like, okay, yeah, like I because most people just want to be heard anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Um and when it comes to, and I learned a big thing, a big reason why I stopped really giving advice when it came to like like specific advice. I stopped doing that because a lot of dudes will they be looking for somebody to like they not really looking for an actual answer. They just looking for somebody to reinforce the
What
shit
they,
they did. So
yeah.
like
Scapegoat.
yeah,
Scapegoat.
that and then a lot of dudes unfortunately don't got enough like they ain't man enough to like say what's on their mind. So sometimes when they arguing with their wives or girlfriends or whoever, they'll come talk to bro and looking for bro to kind of give them what they want to hear, and then they'll go back to sis and be like, "Yeah, I should have
Bro
listened
said.
to bro, and bro said this and bro said that." And you be like, you know what I'm saying? And then no matter how good or bad the advice is, like don't no woman want to, you know what I'm saying, want no outside advice from, you know what I'm saying,
What
his
dude said.
homeboy, you know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like you already like souring, you know what I'm saying, how me and this
Mhm.
person might see each other and shit. So like I just stopped giving that type of advice because it's like Nah, she don't care. She don't like I was giving you that advice for you to kind of take it, internalize it, use what you want to use in your conversation, not like going word for word, bar for bar, and
What I
also yeah, and then
Yeah.
also putting my signature at the bottom because like nah, if that's how you felt, you should have said that. Don't say bro told me this or this why this and that. Like they don't want to hear that, even if it's good shit, because they also don't want to always feel like everything that they saying is gonna go back to me. You know what I'm saying? Like
Facts.
they want to like that's your relationship. So like that's why I really stopped doing that because I'm like, bro, you don't even hell nah. Cause now you got your girl looking at me all types of crazy and I ain't even did nothing. You know what I'm saying? So like you know what I mean? So that's why I stopped doing that. You know what I mean? I stopped doing that. I'll just like just offer a perspective, but like, yeah, motherfuckers are go in and use your whole name, and you be like, damn, why do that? And then they'll come back like, yeah, bro, I told her that you said like, you
Hey,
know what I
happy,
mean? So
hey, geeked about it too. Like, yeah,
yeah,
bro, you
so
what you said, it hit.
right,
Hey,
because realistically, who am I? Like, I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I ain't nobody. I'm just,
uh, you kind of like
just
the
throw it.
Godfather. I feel like everybody has you in the black book. But the
Nah,
best advice I learned to give from the mental health side, I just repeat the question they say. Whatever they say to me, I just repeat it. And they usually figure it out on their own. Be like,
yep.
you know what?
Mm-hmm.
That's great. You be like, yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sound about right.
Nah, but I
Anything
will.
else life wise, it's like whatever. I get that shit to you unfiltered, but like relationship, no, keep me out of that.
That's a slippery slope right there.
Yeah.
Nah, facts.
Slippery slope. But I will say that it's definitely something that bro used to do. He didn't give like advice. He just gave like his perspective, or he provided another perspective of it. And I think that's the biggest thing that like I gained from like a lot of the conversations that we've had is like now when I like have conversations and I'm upset with somebody amongst like my own learning, reading, and development and stuff like that, it's just like to understand that a lot of things ain't worth getting angry and feeling all these heavy emotions about when like sometimes like somebody else may be going through something with they like you get an angry phone call at work or something like that and they like okay, well they probably going through with a wife, they probably going through divorce or something like that, you don't know, whatever. Now I'm not going to tolerate no disrespect, but at the same time I'm not going to take it to heart. Like
No,
I don't know
facts.
what it is that you got going on, but I also had to have that same like introspect with my relationships, not only my wife, but like with my friendships and things like that. Just like you may have had some stuff going on or whatever, or if we into it, okay, well let me try to think about how you was feeling or where you was coming from in the situation. Like you may have felt this way because I didn't text you back when you text me on Monday. I text you back on Wednesday. And you felt some type of way, so that's why you showed up to the party on Thursday tripping or something. Whatever the situation may have been. You know what I'm saying? Just like taking that time to kind of like reflect and see how where other people could have like gotten it misconstrued at and kind of trying to like build off of that or whatever, not
I
just
think
immediately jumping the gun and getting
I think I would have
upset.
saved myself so much money if I would have had that same perspective. As far as like, I used to be just an angry young man and
Same.
get mad and then punch a hole in the wall. Then immediately, like that release is gone. But then I'm like, yep, I gotta pay for that now. And it's
Same.
just, and then just also realizing like, I just had a lot of my issues. It wasn't even with my relationship because one, if I would have saved myself, just realizing like my wife is a human, just like I'm a human. Everyone's not gonna be happy 24/7, so I can't expect her when I know I'm not. And my thing
Mhm.
is also knowing, like I was telling you guys last podcast, I just had to learn to get comfortable with myself. Because a lot of my issues, like I found myself, like I knew it was a problem with me. Like when I see myself getting jealous of my kids, as far as like, if me and my wife into it, I'm the same regardless. Like, hey, everybody getting the same, hey, me, nothing. But I used to get bad because she'd be like, hey, with the kids, she'd be like, hey, how you doing? Then she'd look at me and I'd be like, oh, that's fake. Hey, what you doing? Hey, hello. I'm
Hell
like,
no.
hey, why they get the nice person?
Right.
I get the me. Hey, hello. But so it just learning with that, man, and like when I took the time and just realizing to stop taking everything so personally, stop taking everything in the heart, just realizing like, hey, she could have had a bad day at work. It's nothing I really did. When she said everything fine, hey, it's fine. I'm gonna take you for work. Cool. I'm pushing. And shit been lovely. So I'm about to say, but I could have saved myself so much time and stress off my life.
Yeah, I mean, everybody got their different little things they gotta learn, little growing pains with it anyway, though. Because boy, it is not easy. But let's see. We can do one more topic before we call it
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, I'm about to say yeah.
Uh, hey, so let me see which one. Okay. Do you think so do you feel like anything limits you from being the best father or husband that you can be?
Mm.
Shawn. Shawn, I feel like you got something for us, man. You look like you already had something locked and loaded.
I honestly, I think it's just me. Like, I say I think it's me because like I can get in my moods or get in my modes or whatever to where I'm feeling some type of way, and it's like I don't want to do nothing. Like I don't want to talk. I don't want what Ti say in ATL. I don't want to skate with you. I don't want to kick it
No,
with
kick it
you. I
I
with
want
don't
to
you.
kick
want,
it
you know
with you. I
what
don't
I'm
want none
saying?
of
I
that.
don't want to do none of that. You hear me? So like I think that's the biggest thing with me is just like I prevent myself from doing stuff. But that's something that I'm trying to like even now in this moment, like trying to like grow out of whatever or build on and kind of like fix because I think I just been like that really since I was young. Uh, but I say that to say, like, even the other day, like yesterday, as a matter of fact, my son he was like, Dad, like I had just woke up. He was like, Dad, let's go play basketball. He got a little basketball thing over his basketball goal over his door, or whatever. It's like, let's go play basketball. And I'm like, man, I just woke up, bro. I ain't trying to go play no basketball right now. Like, leave me alone. Let me wake up. Then we go play basketball. Daddy, come on and go play basketball. So, I have to force myself to like get up and go do those things like that. And it's not a force myself in the sense of like, I don't want to play with my son. I don't want to play with my kids. I don't want to, I don't know, whatever. It's just more so like forcing myself to get up and go do stuff. Like we talked about last week with, like the gym and stuff like that. It's just forcing myself to, even for myself, like to better myself, like I have to force myself to get up and go to the gym. I have to force myself to get up and go do things, that I wouldn't necessarily be wanting to do. Like I just want to sit here on the couch and relax for a second. Like I just want to take a break. But I have to realize that like with kids, you can't take no break. With a wife, you can't take no break. I mean, you can. Don't get it twisted. You can, but at the same time, like especially with kids, they didn't ask to be here. So if he comes to you intentionally and says, "Hey, I want to spend some time with you," go spend that time with him because like there's gonna be a day when he grows up and he's not gonna think about, oh, my daddy had the biggest Benz in the neighborhood with the fattest rims on it. Or my mama had the brand new BMW and she had the rims on, or we had the biggest house on the block, or we had the nicest furniture in the house. Whatever the case may have been, like they not gonna look back and reflect on those things. The moments that they're gonna sit back and reflect on and be like, I remember that time, like I asked my dad to get up off the couch. He had just woke up. He didn't want to play, but he went upstairs and he played basketball with me. And I think those are the things that like I wish I could reflect back on in my childhood, especially with my father, because like, my dad wasn't in my life growing up. So those are the things that like I wish I could reflect back on and say that like I had that. Like, oh, my dad got in the backyard and he kicked the soccer ball with me, or we threw the football, whatever the case may have been, or whatever. So just making sure that like I'm doing everything that I wanted to do with my kids as far as like mending those broken bridges that I had in my own childhood. Uh just being the best version of me. And I think that's it. Like it's the only thing that's limiting me is being the best version of me.
Okay.
It's better. It's better.
What about you, Josh?
I would say kind of along the same lines, but I would say two things. I'll say probably like pride and then focus on the past. I say focus on the past because like we try to mimic what we seen growing up. And although I didn't have the best childhood, um, like I seen my dad work. I can count on like my dad didn't play with me. We didn't do this. My dad worked, and I try to get focused on so much of like providing for my family that I lose the sight of enjoying my family. And I try
Mhm.
to tend to miss the goal because I'm always trying to think long term instead of short term. Because I'm thinking like, yo, if I keep grinding right now, like they may not appreciate it now, but 5 years down the road, we set, we good, like we good. And but then that whole 5 years, I missed that time. Like Shawn was saying, whether it's playing Minecraft or Aiden, going outside throwing the ball, or reading a book to my youngest, or playing soccer with my daughter, it's things like that that I get so focused on. And then it's also gets focused on where I'm so trying to avoid what happened to me in my childhood that I get lost in the thought as far as pride. Because like I said, I have depression. I'm supposed to take depression meds, but then my pride gets in the way and I'm like, why do I have to take these pills to be happy? So then I stop taking them. It affects my mood and to the point where my family noticed my mood, like, yo, you ain't be taking medicine, huh? And it's like, damn, yeah, no, it's cool. But it all comes down to pride. And so I'll say once you put that to the side, I think that's the biggest thing is limited. Is I say it's nothing. No, it's not fact. It's like Shawn said, it's literally me.
Mm.
What about you, Brody?
Shit. Attitude. Trying to, making sure I don't, making sure that my frustrations don't always like, gotta see the surface. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause, kids just can be kids from time to time, and remembering that, like, the type of parent that I want to be, or even husband that you want to be, like, it requires like patience, explaining yourself, saying things a certain way, but we all often fall short of that mark. So, that's really the biggest thing for me is like not doing that, what I'm saying? Not because I'm just used to, like, I always tell people I grew up in a house with all guys, what I'm saying, for the first pretty much 13 years of my life. So it's like we always said it exactly how it was, you know what I mean? And then my mom was uh, playing the mom and dad role. So she was always like a little bit more like straight up with you. So she said it told you it like it was, but I had to realize like you can't do that with like that was for that world, what I'm saying, that I grew up in. That ain't necessarily for the world that my kid is growing up in or that mom married. So it's like just realizing like yeah, you frustrated, take a deep breath and say, what I'm saying, say it the right way. What I'm saying, instead of like getting upset, raising your voice, screaming, what I'm saying, putting your hands on somebody. Like, well, I don't do that, but like, but with kids, can be sometimes you just be
Hey,
wanting to
test the
like grab
waters.
them up,
Yeah,
and you be
test the
like, bro,
waters.
like, you know what I mean? So it's like, but like, it's just, yeah, just not being not. And then like the thing is, a lot of times it's not that serious. You know what I'm saying? And the good part is when you don't react the way you like, when you don't react like that, and then you finally take a deep breath and you look back on it, and you like, that shit really ain't that serious. Like, I don't even know why I was that upset, what I'm saying, or that annoyed. And I'm glad I didn't, what I'm saying, go hard. You know what I mean? So
All facts.
that's really it for me, man. But
Nah, it's good. I
well,
rock with
that's
it.
it, bet.
Feel that.
Good episode. Good episode.
Bet. Well, like I said, tap in with Shoes Got My Heart. Tap in with Janeah Simone hair care products. Tap in with the Black Before You brand on YouTube. On Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. But yeah, that's all I got.
Go ahead, Shawn. Love yours again.
Once again, all I got is Urban Smoke 210. If you ever in the San Antonio area, make sure you slide and check them out. I promise you will not be disappointed. That and then Saige and Soule, SAIGE and SOULE.com. Uh, Most definitely. Like I said, I got one of these candles burning now. It smells amazing in here. So make sure you definitely spend time and at least go browse and see what she got going on over there.
I bet. See y'all next week, man. Let. Boom. All right.
Well, I got